This is why when people say I want to open a food franchise or a retail location, a lot of times you're gonna put out four, five, $600,000 for a retail location with a huge lease, and maybe it averages $800,000 in sales, depending upon the franchise. When you have the opportunity to only put up 200 grand and have average numbers like this is why service is exploding in the franchise space overall. Hey, if we're not going to leave and move for 2 or 3 or 4 years, well, we might as well do that one project that we talked about doing, but we weren't going to do. All right, let's move on to the next franchise, which is number 3. This is in the home services space, right? So I'm going to hide this. This is in the home services space. This is a franchise called Superior Fence and Rail. Started out in good old Orlando. What's up? Representing. In 2001, they started franchising in 2017, have over 100 units sold in 2024. They were acquired by a parent company called Empower Brands. 2021, they have 2 corporate units. They have 74 franchise units. Franchise fee 60 grand, basically. They have a declining royalty, which is great as your revenue increases. Total investment only between 130 grand to 206 grand. Here's my overall philosophy about just the home services space. One may think, okay, recession, people are holding on to their dollars tightly, which would be accurate. But what would be accurate is that we're in a unique situation where no one's selling their home or very little people are selling their home. And so the conversations that are being had in households are, hey, if we're not going to leave and move for 2 or 3 or 4 years, well, we might as well do that one project that we talked about doing, but we weren't going to do because we were going to move. Like this conversations that my wife and I've had. Our plan was we were going to buy a new house and by the end of 2023. Like now we're not going anywhere with our low interest rate and the inflated prices right now. We're not going anywhere. I mean, we'll probably be in this house at least another 2 or 3 years, if not more. So now we're talking about, okay, maybe we should do that pool. Okay, maybe we should do the backyard. So on and so forth, right? So similar conversations that could be had. But again, 130K to 206 grand to get up and get open. If you got access to 20%, you can get an SBA loan. A lot of times people get that 20% through an old 401k in what's called the ROBS plan. The term 7 years. And yeah, this is a really interesting franchise. They're the first fence franchise in the U.S. and have established themselves as the leader overall. When we take a look at some of their numbers for the full 12 months ending September 30th, 2022, this was, I think, their most recent reporting. They show 30 franchisees. And let's just say, okay, so let's start with the bottom. The bottom third average about 1.1 million in sales. The middle third averaged 2.1 million in sales, and the top third 5.1 million, with the lowest performing location doing $500,000 in sales, the top performing location doing 9.4 million, which is pretty incredible. So those are some strong numbers for a pretty low cost franchise overall. This is why when people say I want to open a food franchise or a retail location, a lot of times you're gonna put out $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 for a retail location with a huge lease, and maybe it averages $800,000 in sales, depending upon the franchise. When you have the opportunity to only put up 200 grand and have average numbers like this is why service is exploding in the franchise space overall. If you enjoyed this short clip from the podcast, you can check out another short clip right here. Or if you want to watch the full episode of this podcast, you can watch that here. And remember, knowledge is not power. It's applied knowledge that's power. Take care. Have a great rest of your day.